All right, let's talk about something that is surrounded by so much conflicting advice, so much stress, and that's exercise during the 2-week wait. If you're trying to get pregnant, I'm willing to bet you've wondered what's safe and what's not. Well, let's get some real clarity.
I mean, this is it, right? This is one of the most common questions out there, and for a really good reason. You want to do everything perfectly, and that fear of accidentally doing something to mess it all up, it can be absolutely paralyzing.
And hey, this isn't just some random topic we pulled out of a hat. This entire explainer was inspired by this exact question from one of you, a self-described gym girl, who, just like so many of you, simply wants to know what's okay. So let's dive into it.
Okay, first things first, we have to bust a huge myth. For the longest time, the advice, even from some doctors, was just stop working out. But the truth is, not all exercise is the same, and just taking 2 weeks off every single month, that's not the answer. The real key is actually understanding your body's natural rhythm. The best way to think about exercising intelligently is to see your cycle as having 2 totally distinct seasons. Once you get a handle on the hormonal shifts and what's happening physically in each one, I promise your whole approach to workouts is going to make so much more sense. This chart lays it all out perfectly. So before you ovulate, that's your follicular phase, your body is all about estrogen. But after ovulation, which is your 2-week wait, it's all about progesterone. And that one hormonal switch changes everything, from your body temperature and heart rate to how fast you bounce back from a tough workout. In that first half of your cycle, you can kind of think of estrogen as your personal superpower. It gives you more energy, it lowers your resting heart rate, and it helps you recover faster. This is literally when your body is primed for peak performance. It's the perfect time to go for a new personal record or really crank up the intensity.
But then the luteal phase kicks in. Progesterone, the progestation hormone, takes the stage. Its entire job is to get your body ready for a potential pregnancy, so your body's focus naturally shifts to conserving energy. Your core body temp goes up, your resting heart rate goes up, and you might find you just get tired way more easily. That is completely 100% normal.
So, with all that in mind, what are you actually supposed to do? Let's break down a smart, evidence-based plan for how to work out during that 2-week wait.
This is so important. You need to reframe how you think about this. This is not about restriction. It's about syncing your workouts to your cycle. It's about working with your body instead of fighting against it. So what's the foundation of this whole approach? It's strength training. The goal is to build and use those muscles, and the core recommendation is to lift weights at least 3 times a week all the way through your entire cycle.
During the luteal phase, the strategy is actually really simple. 1. Keep lifting those weights. 2. And this is maybe the most important part. Listen to your body. If you feel more tired, that's your signal to adapt. Don't try to force a performance that just isn't there that day. And 3, you've got to fuel your body. You actually need more nutrients during this phase, so now is not the time to skimp on calories.
Now, are there things you should be a little more mindful of? Yes. Research shows that really vigorous activity, we're talking workouts over an hour or super high-intensity stuff, can create a stress response in the body that might make getting pregnant a little harder. This doesn't mean you can never do them, but you probably don't want to be doing them 4 or 5 times a week when you're trying to conceive. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. If you're on a workout plan that expects you to get stronger every single week, you're literally set up to fail during your luteal phase. So many of those plans are built around male hormone patterns. So give yourself some grace. Use the luteal phase to maintain your strength, and then plan to push for those new goals in your next follicular phase when your body is ready for it.
Okay, we absolutely have to talk about one major, critical exception to all of this, and that is IVF. If you are going through advanced fertility treatments, the rules change a lot, and it's because of a very specific and serious risk.
That risk is called ovarian torsion. See, during IVF, the stimulation meds make your ovaries get much larger and heavier than they normally are. Torsion is when one of those big, heavy ovaries actually twists on itself and cuts off its own blood supply. This is a true surgical emergency, and it can even lead to losing an ovary. To help people understand this, fertility expert Dr. Crawford uses this fantastic analogy. She says to imagine your ovaries are like heavy water balloons, just sitting there in the bony part of your pelvis. The whole goal of any movement you do is to make sure those water balloons stay put. They can't get jostled around. So here's a super clear guide. Movements where the balloons stay put, like walking, squats, light lifting, those are generally fine.
But things that can make the balloons move, like running, jumping, intense twisting, or even inversions like a downward dog in yoga, those can cause the heavy ovaries to move and twist. So those are an absolute no-go during a stimulation cycle.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It boils down to a simple but really powerful message.
The goal here is to adapt, not to stop. You do not need to put your life on pause and wrap yourself in bubble wrap during the 2-week wait. What you need to do is listen to your body, respect its different phases, and really embrace movement for what it is, a source of physical strength and incredible mental stress relief.
And that brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with. Instead of seeing your cycle as this big limitation, this thing that gets in the way, what if you started to see it as your ultimate training guide? A built-in roadmap that tells you exactly when to push, when to maintain, and how to work with your body to become your absolute strongest self.